Alright. Yo, what's up? Um, I don't know, I was trying my best to make it all like perfect. I'm in a balcony, bitch. Um, okay, it's cold. So it's May, end of May. Soon someone has a birthday, one of my friends, so I better remember that and send them happy birthday wishes. So there is no specific, there is a reason why this video is existing at this very moment, because I woke up and instantaneously I just had this understanding that I need to make a video on empathy and telepathy. I don't know how, but it just dawned on me. I was like, alright, I need to do that. So, and I was like, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, and right now the energy feels like this is the moment. I tried my best to look perfect for it. This looks like it has this blur effect for me from where I stand. It would be nice if I had a blur effect and I would be like in focus, you know what I mean? Anywho, this is my Sagittarian energy. I'm like really into myself and whatever. Self-love, bitches, self-love. Um, so how you guys doing? I hope you're doing great. This is a very tumultuous time for the outside because there is a lot of changes that are happening inside. That's why what we see around us is a reflection of what's happening inside. Keep that in mind. By the way, whenever I do these videos, I don't necessarily know exactly what I speak of. I just let the flow. I just don't really... It's like art. It's like you draw, or you sing, or you dance. You don't control it, you just do it. That's how my information comes. I don't control it. The only thing I do is I practice English language, like I read books in classic English, and just to enhance my vocabulary, just to understand more of the terms I may use. Alright? So I had a haircut yesterday. Anywho, I don't go to hairdressers anymore because I figured like I'm 27, my body's 27, and I was going to hairdressers, and each time I was like, I don't like the way they cut my hair. I don't. And like there were none of the times when I would be satisfied. Maybe just one or two. And so I remember first time I cut my hair, I I was like, oh my god, this is exactly what I want. Can't anyone do this? Like, what the hell? So I decided to cut my own hair by myself. Saves money, and I don't know, like it's like cool, and I can do whatever I want with it, and I enhance. Certainly there are parts which I could do better. Okay, this is not, I'm sorry, I'm just like rambling all about myself. So, telepathy and empathy. Um, Mind you, before I start, you need to remember that I occupy a human being. So if you're a human being watching this, that means whatever I say implies that you are able to do this too. Like, we all have this. It's like, if you look at the trees, like, yeah, they're unique expressions, but they're all the same thing. They all have roots, they all have leaves, they all have sprouts, and you know, the base, all that stuff. I know the Russian word ветки, but I don't remember the English. Anywho, so yeah, empathy. All of us have the ability to feel one another, because I want to use the word intrinsically. I don't exactly know what it means, but we are intrinsically all one. I remember the phrase anima mundi. I hope I remembered it correctly. That means the one world soul. So we are all just one soul expressed of this planet, expressed through different physical appearances. Um, That's where you get the reincarnation ideas, that whenever you pass, you get into some other form, basically. And that's exactly what it is. Um, so yeah, and we all feel one another. Whenever you are sad, that doesn't mean you are specifically sad. That's an emotion that's you are currently feeling, that's moving through you as your body digests it. I don't know, alchemizes it, because your body is like a vessel. Something goes through it and needs to go out of it. Don't need to be stuck in it, you know. And so whenever you feel like, maybe you feel happy, because feelings are contagious. Like whenever you feel happy, um, people that are around you feel it too, and they're like, ooh, you know, they groove with you, and they are uplifted by this energy too, because we are empathic. We feel one another. Same goes with sadness. Same goes with anger, rage, and all that stuff. There is nothing wrong about anything. There is nothing. Don't judge any emotions that you encounter. Allow it to be expressed, because that's what they are for. Like, I use my art and physical trainings to make those emotions flow into some form. Like, if it's art, if I'm painting, for instance, it's usually from contempt. I'm in the mood for giving some love in picturesque form, you know. When it comes to music, I usually indulge, I would say, in my rage and anger sometimes, because I am all about justice in the world. I like fair things, so things are fair. So most of my music and songs are also channeled, but they are focused on what I see, which could be improved, you know, in this world, in this reality we occupy. Call it politics, call it energy, I don't know. Anyway, so, and physical trainings, I also use my rage. This is not about empathy, isn't it? I don't know, it's just for you to understand. Like, maybe sometimes you feel something and you're like, oh my god, I don't know, why am I feeling it? Maybe you caught it from someone, you know, someone was really like vibrating that energy and you just felt it and digested it. And you know, some people say you need to defend yourself from outside. That's why when you live in like big cities, we are all just so tired, because we go inside a city where it's just like massive amount of energies, sadness, addictions, happen, like all of it, and you just come home, you're like, oh my god, what is going on? And your vessel is full of it, you know, full of those bugs of information. So, you know, I don't know if you need to like consciously defend yourself from it. I use that sometimes, like consciously, like, please God, defend my energy, like from all the negative aspects of the outside world or something. I don't know. If you believe in it, it works, like a placebo effect. It does. If it doesn't work for you, well, whatever, you know. I also believe there is a phrase, just like your inner light will be your defense mechanism. Like, if you are assured in your own energy, if you are assured in your own truth, nothing can answer you. Like, if you just like say, I don't like this, I like this, something that you don't like has no power to get to you, you know, has no right to even enter your periphery, I'd say. And what's happening to humanity, as I'm saying about it, comes forward, is that there are forces that push us to say out loud what we don't like and what we like, you know, because I, for instance, myself would be throughout my life accepting of all that's happening, which is a fine tactic, but you know, sometimes you accept so much, like, oh, do you want to like do that work? Oh, you want to like push that thing away? Oh, do you want to, you know, basically do the mud work, play in mud? and you accept and until you are completely in that energy and you forgot entirely where you came from. So you know that opposition is happening, so you would finally say enough is enough. Those were my lessons in my life, where I would be bombarded with humiliation, I'd say, until I myself say, that's not what I stand by, this is not what I want to look for in my reality, in my domain, in my life anymore. Back off, you know. So that's how I see it, and empathy is somehow relates to it. So we all feel one another, we all are one in this, we all have these circumstances and difficulties attacking us and happening all around us. So that's why I do sketches also, I guess, because they come to me and I upload them because I don't know what to do with them. Maybe they are related to some stories that you can understand, because they all work as an alchemical way to work through emotions. You know, there are situations when you don't know how to say something to other person, you never stood up for yourself, and those sketches are usually the example of how can you do that, I guess. Or those are real stories of real people, I don't know. But yeah, if it arrives to me, I do it. I know God sent it to me, and whatever God wants, and God is everything. You see right now, everything is God. Who is looking is God. It's like this love. Everything is. That's what I believe in. I don't push that onto you by any means. So that's why do no harm and take no shit is a good thing. Because if you do harm to another person, you're doing it to yourself. Like, we're all one. It's like we do have different abilities, different unique roles, different unique expressions to through which like the source manifests itself to learn things, to express one another once again. So honor one another. Even if you see someone who is like struggling, it's you in the other form. Easy as that. Of course, if you don't feel like helping, there is no judgment. Don't judge what you feel. I don't believe in mistakes, so as if life can do mistakes. What's a mistake? Humanity only now arrives at the point where they're like, oh wait, there is no time. There are no clocks in the sky. Time doesn't exist. There is only like now moment. Everything is just pulsating. Everything is cyclical. That's it. Seriously. Of course we invented time to make it easier. Like, hey, can you arrive at 5 p.m? You know, sure I will. And that's how. And this is the transition to my next one, the telepathy. Oh, this is a good one. So I will cover a bit more maybe on empathy as the topic progresses. But that's, I guess, what came about. So telepathy. This is a big one. Once again, as I proceed, remember that we are all same thing. We all are different, sure, but we all have the potential and abilities. So whatever I speak of is just like you have it too. It's just a question whether you want to develop it or be conscious about it. Because sometimes I am unconscious of most of the times I'm unconscious about things I do. Like it's inherited, not inherited, but like inherently in me. Like like you know, when you move, it's you. You don't think about it. Like, oh, dude, look at this dude. Look how he does it. And when they say something and this person hears about it, he becomes conscious of what the other people saw in him. But if they wouldn't, he would just continue on, you know? Anyway, this just came to me. I just watched the Jessie J, not fully, but like an interview with her. I really like the way she pronounces words. I really like her language, usage, her accent. She sings amazingly too, of course. And it's amazing that she's candid and vulnerable on an interview about certain things in her life and just shares with the world her expression. Anywho, so telepathy. All of us are telepathic. Whenever you think of someone, this person texts you somehow, like, hey, do you want to hang out? And you're like, oh my god, I was just thinking about you. Well, that's I already spoke about this, but you know, once again, maybe. I think my telepathy as time progresses, because right now astrologically there are lots of things that are happening, that our DNA is just going through so much. Some of us are conscious about it, some of us are aware about it, and some of us have no clue what's going on, but it doesn't really matter. We all navigate this as, like, this is the first time, I feel like to say that, a human being enters this type of energy field. The information about light bodies arrives. I don't really know what that means, so I'm not gonna touch on it. So yeah, anyway, sometimes I noticed, I always had it, because I remember people, when I would text someone, people would be like, how did you know? Like, it's like you feel when to text me. And I didn't pay much attention to it. I would be like, yeah, I'm telepathic. Like, for me, it was always alright. Because I have an upbringing which was a difficult one. I had a mother who didn't. I had not toxic, but I would be a difficult upbringing. My mother would be a source of a lot of distress for me. So I developed this ability to feel and sense, like, how do you say that? Anyway, to sense danger or to sense difficult situations, be on alert, and I would constantly look out for the clues that something is about to happen, which is a bad one. Bad circumstance is to arrive. And so for me, when I would be lucky with recognizing something in someone, that wouldn't be much of a surprise, because they would be from my childhood. This is how I developed it. You know, if someone is like, oh, how did you know? I felt it. Oh, how did you know? I thought about it. Oh, how did you know? I'm in this field of energy. For me, it would be like innate. Like, I don't know. This is how I am. So, but lately I recognized that my abilities are enhancing in that department, meaning I remember some occasions when I would even merge with the person I'm hanging out with. Like, the topic is empathy and telepathy, not for random reasons, but for me they are so connected. Like, I not only feel how the person like is feeling basically, but I also know what he's cognitively processing, as if, like, I would hang out with someone and there is a pair of a woman and a man wearing the suits, and they're rich, and like, I mean, they have this like class style kind of appearance to them, and we would walk past them and I'll be like, oh my god, I like the way they present themselves, and the girlfriend with whom I was hanging out, she'd be like, "Oh my God, I was thinking about the same. Oh my, like it was so amazing to see such a nice pair of people representing class. You know, being humble, and yet like being like really filled with, like their vessel was filled. You know, cup was filled. They felt assured in themselves, and we just were amazed at this energy at the same time." For instance, and there was another time when I would be like with another girlfriend, like half a year ago, and when I would speak with her, no joke, it felt like I was speaking with myself. Like we would be on an elevator, not escalator, going downwards in the metro, and I just ask her, and it's like I know, and like I'm answering my question through her, and she would say to me what I want her to say, and she would question what I want her to question. It was such an innate kind of conversation happening between us. I'm sorry if I do like this face all the time, but I'm facing the. Anyway, sometimes it's sunny. Finally. So yeah, we would just like I would feel like it's just one person. That's how I felt with her. I'll be like, oh my God, I just merged with you. And then when we would depart, I would like and just become me again. I don't know if that's actually an issue of me having low boundaries or not yet controlling, but I know the needs of other people like instantaneously, and it's not manipulative. It's about like what this not person needs, but like what could I bring them to soothe them, as if to help them out in their experience. It's like that, I think. I hope. Not long ago, like a week ago, I'd text a guy. We were seeing one another for some time. He's a really nice guy. That's how I got into the whole twin flame topic, because with him it felt really ecstatic, very specific, as in I would start having lots of dreams after we met with him. I would start having a lot of resolutions energetically. Chords would be completely resolved with some people, you know, because he was related to to them in some way, shape, or form. And you know, I would text them to like thank for the experience we had. And right now we don't really collide that much, but that was such a beautiful experience. Anyway, so I texted him. I don't think he's my twin flame, but maybe he's a soulmate. Like, you know, when you meet someone and it's just like, I even told him like, hey, I feel like I'm in a movie. Like, it's weird. We lose complete touch with time with him when we spent like one day with him and like departed from one another. He even said like, oh my God, I felt like a week just passed, because this whole day with him would feel so, you know, like a lot happened in just a day. A lot of conversation, a lot of information, a lot of digestion of inner experiences both of us had, I guess. I don't know. That's what it feels like to be shared. So, yeah, and I texted him like a week ago, like, hey, how are you? And he's like, oh my God, it's like you feel me. I feel really bad. And like he was sick basically. And I just said to him like, hey, hang on, you know, a bit better. I bet it's because, so do you know that there are flashes of light? Oh my God, I guess I'm tired already. So basically, you know, the Schumann resonance is really peaking. The sun explodes with flashes a lot of times, and like our bodies are merging into different form. Not merging, but like it's an evolution happening without us realizing it. I don't know the word. So anyway, and sometimes our body tells us to like, hey, I need rest. Like sometimes I feel 2 days I would just like lie down without doing anything. I'd be like so into resting and not doing any activity, not thinking even, not anything spiritual, just like be dumb. Like completely reset my entire human form. That's because body does a lot of work right now. It's like lots of things, lots of traumas that we felt through our lives. Even not just this one, but like previous lifetimes too, I bet, are imagined from within, and we need to digest it, we need to let it out, we need to let it go, because this is a form, it's stuck. Not stuck, but like it's very dense. And so it needs to move through you, you know? And that's where all your abilities are coming online. Empathy and telepathy are one of them, I feel. And telepathy it's not about like you hear someone says it. It's not that. Sometimes it is, maybe. But for me, it seems like you're thinking, but it's actually another person thinking. Or both of you at the same time. And you just have this image. Like there are people in my life with whom I speak, and I send them visual representations of the topic we speak of. This is how I, like, when I speak, it sounds redundant. I just do that because it seems cool. Not cool, but like, people don't use telepathy right now, so they need to hear what you say. And I just like the English language. It's dope. I like phrasing, I like making it sound eloquent and beautiful. It's just something that makes me happy. So, and there was time, for instance, it was 2019. I was seeing some guy. We didn't have sex with him, but it was a very pleasurable like month with him. He healed my heart so much, because throughout my life I would be closed off from people, I think, and I even have like some songs dedicated to his role in my life, and the how grateful I am for his appearance. And oh my god, I just feel like it's just sunny, and I feel so good. It's so peaceful too. A lot of rain was happening, like today and yesterday, and now it just feels amazing. Alright. Telepathy. So 2019, and I was walking with this guy with whom we were like seeing one another, and I remember some like we just walked, and suddenly like I have images of our previous night when we would be like a little bit freaky with him, and suddenly he says like, I don't remember exactly what he says, but he would imply either an invitation to go to some hotel and chill, or he like something suggestive. And I was like looking at him like, I was just thinking about it, and he just blushed. And that's how I figured out, it's like, oh, it was him thinking about it, because I wasn't horny. I was just walking we're just like through bazaar or something, and this image randomly popped up and was like, oh my god, it's not me, it's you. So that's an ability you will have. It's nothing extraordinary. I think people, human beings, should really stop thinking that this is some woo-woo stuff, that this is something out there, that this is something out of your reach, because you really are lowering your standards for this experience of life. Sure, there are things we need to do, as if in this life to sustain yourself, like eat, like work, and all that stuff. Anyway, find your own way in life, but you know, don't dumb yourself down for other people's approval of you. That's useless. I think this is it. 30 minutes of talk. I think that's good. Yeah, I just woke up and I instantaneously had a desire to speak of empathy and telepathy. And I was like, alright, well, God wants me to do that, so I'll do that. I really hope I wasn't like this the whole video, because it's just the face. But who gives a shit? This is what came out of me, I'm sorry. I don't swear that much. So yeah, I think this whole thing, what we're going through, is just our way home to oneness. It's like there is this topic of what the Bible speaks of, with the fall. Well, for people, I guess, forgot God, that they are God, that everything is God, and this is how they felt, as if this is an experience anyway. This is why some people, like, they go to churches, and there's nothing wrong about it. They go to churches to pray to God, to ask for something, and they need some external place. There is nothing wrong about it. It's beautiful. I also need some external places for some specific traditions I have. Like go to the beach in a specific place to have exactly that feeling, and so on and so forth. Go to exactly that bar because I want to have exactly that. So they go to exactly the church to have exactly that transaction of energy between them and them. And that's it. And also because they're empathic, they just energize the whole place with one another, especially when there are a bunch of people involved in some ceremony, I'd say. I hope you can hear me, by the way, clearly, because my phone is like iPhone 8. Everyone is having iPhone 11 right now. I'm like, what? Technology? So, yeah. Is this it? That's all the topics I wanted to cover? I think so. So yeah, if you have like questions, maybe, if you wanna ask something about anything, you can do just that in the comments below. I wish you a happy everything, happy now moment. Be good to you, take care of yourself. If you feel like doing something, go do it. If you feel like you don't want to do anything, don't do anything. Don't judge yourself or anything. If you eat something that you feel guilty for, come on. If your body needs it, allow it to have it. So this is it. Peace.